This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, now let us start the today's session. So in the today's session, we are going to discuss a concept of loops and conditional statements which are available to us in TOSCA. So basically, if you have just a brief overview of what we have discussed in the yesterday's class, we have discussed about the concept of recovery scenarios. What is recovery scenarios? Why we will be using the recovery scenarios like a kind of protection or a backup to my test cases, and where I will be creating these recovery scenarios and these cleanup scenarios is what we have seen in the yesterday's class. So in this today's class, we are going to see what are the looping statements, what are the conditional statements available to us in TOSCA. Like what when the situation comes, I mean, you need to know how the looping statements would be available and how the conditional statement would be available in TOSCA. And I will also be telling you how to use them. So whenever you face any situation like, okay, I need to use a conditional statement, without any hesitation, you guys can go forward and you just can make use of these conditional statements and looping statements in this TOSCA. So that is what we are going to discuss in this today's class. So first of all, I feel this is not something a new concept for most of the people. For few of the people, this might be a new concept, but for most of the people, this is not a new concept. Somewhere or the other, even in the graduation time, or even in our any other programming language or any other scripting language which we might have learned, we might have gone through these naming conventions. So first of all, let us try to understand and learn something about the conditional statement. Okay, just let me increase the font size for your convenience. Yes. So, what is a conditional statement? See, the conditional statement which is available in TOSCA is if statement. If statement is what the conditional statement which is available to us and which we are going to use in this TOSCA. And what is this condition and conditional statement? See, whenever you are trying to do a particular task and there has been a specific condition given to you, means if there is any condition which matches, then only you will be doing a particular set of action. If the condition doesn't match, then you will be doing another specific set of action. So depending upon the condition or based upon the condition, your set of actions will be decided and your set of actions will be performed. So if you want to say that kind of thing, we will be using this if conditional statement. So I will also give you a simple example to just show you how to use that in our test cases. But before showing you that, I'll just try to write some pseudocode. Pseudocode in the sense like high level language. I mean, I'll try to write how the syntax of this if statement looks like. So if, then you are going to give a condition. So in the condition, you are going to mention something, right? So whatever you want to mention in the condition, you will do. If the condition satisfies, I mean, if the condition is yes, if it is satisfied, yes, what you will do then you will perform in one action, right? Now, what happens if the condition fails? If the condition fails, your control will come to the else part. Else, what you need to do? So it is simple pseudo code kind of thing. So based upon the condition, you are going to decide what kind of action you want to perform. Right? Are you guys understanding my point? It is very simple. So I need to have a condition over here depending upon my condition. Yes, if this condition, if my condition verifies or satisfies, then I will be doing one action. If my condition doesn't get satisfied, I will be doing another action. Right? So now I'll try to show this with a proper example in this TOSCA. For suppose, let me go back to my browser and just open this demo web shop for you guys. Okay, I'll just open this demo web shop I have opened. Mostly what happens, for example, we might have faced this issue in our laptops or in even our desktops. We might have logged into any e-commerce application and without logging out, we might have closed the browser or whatever it might be. So then what happens when that kind of situation? Again, when you are opening for the next time, are you understanding my point? Today you have logged into this application and without logging out, you have closed the browser. I mean, Your instance would be there as it is, right? So when you come back after 1 week or 10 days, most probably you will be logging in directly into the same instance where we have come out, right? Did anyone face this issue? For example, now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to log in to this application, and suppose what I have done, I have just closed this. Let me think that I have closed this. Now again what I will do, I will again open the browser. I have logged into this, but without logging out, I have closed this. I will try to open the demo web shop from where it is being there. So what happens? Sometimes, can you see, few of the applications will try to open a new instance for you, right? New instance for you even if you do not log out, but when you open the browser again newly, you will be able to see a new instance open for you, and you will be able to see the register and login. But let us consider you have logged in, but what if you are if you are coming back to the same instance where you have logged in? For suppose, what I'll do is I'll just open the same browser again. Let us see whether it happens or not. Now I'm trying to open the browser again. I have tried to open. Again, can you see a new instance been opened? But what if when you open the same thing, it is already logged in? I'll try to show you. Shift tab. Then I'll just give this. Okay, I'll just delete this. And again, I'm just opening the browser. So most of the times, until and unless we clear the cache, we will be opening the same application, right? What's happening today to the Google Chrome? Yes, it is opening a new instance, right? So most of the times when you are opening this browser, you will be getting the new instance. But in case, let us assume a situation, what happens now as you opened the application, but you are able to see some other person is already logged in, and that is not the person belongs to you. I mean, those credentials doesn't belongs to you. So what you need to do, you need to log out, then again you need to log in as per your convenience, right? So what is the basic functionality of the test cases that we have developed? So once we open the browser, after opening the browser, what should I do? First of all, I need to register myself, or I need to log in myself, right? But if I try to log in, I want to click on this login. But what happens? Am I able to see login if another person is logged in? Let me tell you. If another person is already, sorry, what is this? I'm just copying this. Yes. Sorry, guys, don't mind if you guys are able to hear some background noise from my end. Actually, do not mind. Sorry for the inconvenience, right? So for suppose after opening the URL, what you are planning to do, the basic step is you want to click on this register, right? But when you open the browser, what happens? You are seeing the some other email ID which is belonging to some other person who has already logged in. Means your test case will be failing, right? So as per the test case or the scripting, whatever you have done, you have scripted in such a way that after opening the URL, you are going back and clicking on this register. But Will your test case will be able to click on this register? No, it won't be able to click on this register because some other person is already logged in. So in this kind of situation, how do you need to make your test case work even if some other person is already logged in, right? Then what I will be doing is I will be simply making use of if conditional statement. Simple. So what is my condition here? After opening the URL, whether my register is visible to me or not. If my register is visible, I will click on the register. If the register is not visible, then what I will do? I need to log out. Once I click on this logout, then I am able to see the register as it is, right? So why I'm saying this point is even in the worst situations or in the worst case, you can make use of this if conditional statement and you can execute your test case so that your test case would not be failed even in the worst kind of situation, right? Are you guys understanding the situation? You opened the URL, you want to click on this register, but some other person is already logged in. That is why you are able to see one email ID with which it is logged in. So what is happening then? You are unable to click on the register and your test case will get failed, but you want to get back to the normal situation. If you want to get back to the normal situation, I am just implementing an if conditional statement and I am asking whether this register is visible to me or not. If register is visible to me, I'll click on this. If the register is not visible, what is the meaning of that? If the register is not visible, then some other person is already logged in, right? Then I will click on logout. After clicking on logout, then my register is visible. I will be going and clicking on registration. Is the scenario understood for everyone? So shall I implement this with this TOSCA with a simple test case?
Yes, madam.
So I'm just going back to TOSCA. So what I'm doing is, so I'm just going to create a simple and small test case. I'm just creating a test case. And what is the name of the test case is conditional statement if else. So now this is a test case which I have created, and what I'm going to do with this, I'm just changing the work state to in work. Now what I will do, I will open a URL first. So my first step is in this test case, I need to open a URL. I'll just copy the same step, right? I have just placed this, and once I have opened this URL, what should I do? After opening the URL, I need to click on this register, but some other person is already logged in. I can't do it manually, so I'm just going to implement a if conditional statement. So how do I implement this if conditional statement in a test case is just give a right click. Once you just give a right click, there you will be able to see an option called create if statement. Next to the test configuration parameter, you are able to see one create if statement. So I'm just clicking on this after just giving a right click. Can you see if statement consists of a condition, and after that condition it is asking you then means TOSCA is asking you, boss, in the if conditional statement, specify whatever condition you want, and if the condition is matching, then tell me what should I do. So now this is my if statement. What is my condition? After opening a URL, I need to click on this register, right? So what I will do, I will just wait whether the register is present or not. So so this register, which is there for me, just give me a second, guys. Guys, 1 second. Let me know. Is it causing a lot of disturbance for you?
Not much, sir.
No, sir, no, sir.
If it is really causing a disturbance, please let me know, right? At any point of time, you can stop me, right?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to take the same test step, click on this register. I'm just copying it and I'm placing it in the condition. So what is my condition now? I'm just trying to verify whether this register is present or not, right? I'm going to change this name as verify if register is present or not. What is my register present or not? I'll just do verify. I won't click on that. Now what I'm doing, I'm just verifying whether this register is present or not. If that register is present, what should I do? I need to click on the register and complete my registration process. See, ultimately at the end of the day, what you need to do, you are just executing your test case of the registration of a user into this application. But sometimes if some other user is already logged in, what happens? Can you see now after opening the URL, now with the help of this if conditional statement, this is a condition and you have just pasted a test step. Verify if register is present or not. Now you are simply doing register visible equal to true verify means now you are verifying whether the register is visible to you or not. If the register is present, what you need to do? You need to click on the register. You need to enter the registration details, verify the success message, all these things. Control C and I'm copying it, I'm pasting it in the then statement. Now can you see? So what I'm doing first, your control comes to the if statement and your condition will be verified whether the register is present or not. If the register is present, then you will be clicking on the register, entering the registration details, and you will be verifying the success message. But what if your register is not visible? Means some other person is already logged in, then you need to log out, right? Then condition will be failed, right? Obviously if the register is not visible, what will happen? You are automatically this step will fail. If this step is getting failed, then what you need to do? You need to create an else part, right? Obviously, as per the syntax, if you see, if the condition is matching only, then you will be then set of actions will be executed. But if the condition is getting failed, what is your condition? Register is not present. If the register is not present, what will happen? Then these steps will not be executed, right? Then what you need to do, you need to create a separate else part. How do you create a else part now on this if conditional statement? Just give a right click and there you will be able to see an option called create else statement. So I have just also created an else statement. So now what should I do? If my condition is getting failed, then my control will directly come to the else part. In the else part, what should I do? First I need to click on this logout. I'm just copying this logout because if the register is not present, what should I do, man? Obviously, I need to log out. And then again, I need to perform these options, right? I'm just Is the flow clear for everyone? See here. Now, see, this is a if conditional statement. So when my execution is happening, first of all, my control will come to the conditional statement. What is my conditional statement? Verify if register is present. If register is present, then it will go to execute these statements. If the register is not present, means some other user is already logged in, then what will happen? It will come to the else part. In the else part, what should it do? Ultimately, I am executing the registration test case. First, it will click on the logout, and after clicking on the logout, then it will proceed with the normal execution steps. Is it clear? Now, see, your test case looks very simple. Now, what is the test case that we have developed it for? We have developed the test case simply for only registration of a user. But what has happened after opening a URL, your complete test case is built only in this if conditional statement, right? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
I'll just execute this and show it to you. For suppose, let me say that I'm just closing this browser off and I will be just executing this test case, running Scratchbook. Now see what is going to happen when I execute this. And I will also minimize this notepad for you. I'll just minimize everything. Now see, as usually a browser should open once the execution gets started. So let it open. Our execution is not yet started. I think today my system is behaving weirdly. Is it executing? Yeah, system got stuck. Yeah, now the execution started. Can you see? Once the execution is started, you can see a status bar at the bottom, right? Now, actually, what should happen? The URL should be opening. What is this, ma'am? Oh my goodness, it is taking a lot of time. Now it has opened the application. Now it is verifying the condition whether this register is present or not. Now condition gets matched. Now it is clicking on the register and it is going and doing the normal registration process. Can you see the normal registration process it is executing? There is no difference between that, right? Correct? Understood? Now I will show you the status of the execution. Once the execution gets passed, I will show how your execution has happened with the help of this if-else conditional statement. Actually, in this TOSCA, we have only one conditional statement. That is also only the if-else conditional statement. Oh, it is a bit slow today. Yes, the execution has been completed. Now what I will be doing is, now can you see, if I just expand this, how your execution has happened. See, after opening the URL, your control has came to the if part. Now your condition is being verified. Now you can see verification was successful. Now because the verification of the condition is done, your control has directly come to the then part. See, the else part has not been executed, right? So, with the help of these conditional statements, if the condition is matching, then you are performing a specific set of action. Now, if the condition is not matching, then what you will be doing, you need to execute separate set of action. For example, let us say, I'll just close this off and I'll try to run the same test case. Let me see whether this works or not. So again, I'm just trying to execute. I'm not sure whether the application opens with the same instance or again it will open with a new instance. If it opens with the same instance, we are lucky our else part would be executed. Otherwise, again, the same if part. Now can you see? It's our luck. See, now what is happening? It is now some other user is logged in, so it logged out. Now it clicked on register and now it is registered as a normal process, right? So even if someone is already logged in, immediately you find them as soon as you opened the URL. So there is nothing to fear it. So, because with the implementation of this if conditional statement, the way the test case handling becomes very easy and you can just develop it as simple as possible. Now, can you see, I'll just try to expand the execution results. Now, can you see, now you have opened the URL. After opening the URL, what happens? The condition goes to the if conditional statement. Then it will verify for a condition. What is your condition? You are verifying for a register. But is the register visible? No, register is not present because obviously some other person is already logged in, so you can't see the register. So what TOSCA has done instead of failing, see, if I don't use the conditional statement, my test case will fail as it is. Few of the people face this issue, right? No matching tab was found earlier. My test case will fail. So instead of my test case getting failed, so what I have done now, I have my condition failed. Because the condition failed, my control has come to the else part. See, if the condition satisfies, control will go to then. If the condition fails, my control will come to the else part. I have come to the else part, and in the else part, what I have done, I have clicked on the logout. So the user has been logged out. Then again, I have done the normal registration process. Is it clear how the if-else conditional statement works in TOSCA?
Yes, sir.
What about others?
Yes, mother.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Just give me a moment, guys. I just come. Yes. So now once we have completed this if-else conditional statement, then we will also be learning about what are the looping statements available to us in TOSCA. So first of all, what is a looping statement? It is very simple, right? See, the name itself is saying a loop. Looping statements means, first of all, I will tell you what are the looping statements available in TOSCA. Before that, what is a loop? Loop, we might have used this word on a daily basis, even in some other context or situation. Like if you want to perform any specific action for a repeated number of times, right? Basically, the concept of loop will come into picture only and when if you want to perform a specific set of action. Please remember this. If we want to perform a specific set of action for repeated number of times, then we will be using the loops, right? We will also say, please exit. This guy is working on a loop, means he's continuously working. In order to represent the continuous task, few people will call it as a loop. It is being executed in a loop. It is working on a loop, right? He went on a loop. Means what is that? See, he went on a continuous task. Means in order to represent the continuous task repeatedly, the same action, right? The same action for a repeated number of times. So we will be using this concept of loops. Now, what are the looping statements available to us in TOSCA is, it is while and go while. So these are the two looping statements which are available to us in this TOSCA. The first one, the conditional statement is if else, that is done. And when it is coming to the looping statements, we just have two looping statements. One is while and one is go while. So what is this while statement? How do we use this? With a simple example, I will be trying and showing it to you. For example, this is the application which has been there for us. So for example, now what I'll do is I will try to add few products to the cart. Okay, let me go back and add some products. I'll try to show you with a simple example. I'm just adding few products to the cart. And let me add how many I've added. I've added three. Okay, now I'll add these apparels and shoes too. For example, now what is this? There is a bag. I'll add this. There is a belt. I've added this. So five. So jeans. I've added this six. Shoes. I've added. What happened? I think it will open another page. Yes. So fine. I've added this. So let me go to this electronics or cell phones. So I'll just add this and I'll just add one more. So how many products have come total in? So nine products might have come. So I'll just add few more. Electronics digital downloads, right? Yeah, phone cover, add to cart. Yeah, total 10 products. I'll just go to jewelry section and I'm just adding this to the cart. Length in centimeters, something length in centimeters. I'm just keeping. So far, suppose now let us say why I have done all these things is to just give you a practical example. Now you have 11 products added to the cart. Even in our real time also, we will add so many products to the cart and then we will filter and we will purchase only one product, right? So in the same kind of fashion, for example, I have added this 11 products to the cart. Now after adding this 11 products to the cart, now there is a requirement saying that could you please delete all the products in the cart. Even sometimes we might also be doing the same situation, right? Sometimes if we don't require anything, we will be completely clearing the cart and we will be starting again freshly when we want to purchase a new product. So if there is a requirement saying that can you please delete the products in the cart and completely there should not be any product in the cart. So what is the basic step that you will do? So you will be going to the shopping cart and this is a shopping cart. Can you see this is again looking like a table? Actually, again you can perform a table operations on this. See, this is a table. First cell, second cell, third cell, fourth, fifth, sixth. This is a table which contains some 11 or 12 rows and 6 cell values. You can also scan this and you can perform the table operations. But this UI is not much friendly, so that is what we have performed table operations on some other application. That leave that, keep that at the side. Now, I want to delete the products in the cart. First of all, you need to know the functionality, right? They're asking you to delete the products in the cart completely. In this demo web shop application, what is the process to delete the product from a cart? Do we have, see, sometimes in one application, if you click on one checkbox, it will select the all checkboxes, right? Do we have any such kind of thing here? No. Now, in this application, why I'm telling you all these points is I'm just trying to drill down and making it to you very clear. Now, see, there are no single checkboxes which deletes all the products at a single go. There is nothing like that. But how do you do manually? You will click on this, you will click on this. Will you click on all the checkboxes? And if you delete, what is the process to delete? If you click on this update shopping cart, now what will happen? The product will be deleted from the cart. But I'll tell you one more scenario. If today there are 11 products in the cart, you are doing an automation. But what if there are 20 products in the cart tomorrow? If you want to execute the same test case when there are 20 products in the cart, will your test case work? No, because today you have tried to click on all the 11 checkboxes. So tomorrow it won't work. So what you need to do, irrespective of number of test cases, sorry, irrespective of number of products in the shopping cart, your test case should work. Even if there are 3 products in the shopping cart, it should delete everything. And if there are even 20 products, it should delete everything. So, but what is the process to delete a product in the shopping cart? See, I'll just click on this checkbox and I will click on this update shopping cart. Now see what happens, that product has been deleted. Can you see? The process of deleting a product from the shopping cart is very simple. Click on this checkbox and click on this update shopping cart, right? Now, if I want to automate this, do we have any module scan? No. First of all, I need to create a module. Correct, right? If I want to click on this update shopping cart, I do not have a module. And if I want to click on this checkbox, I do not have a module. So what should I do? Basically, I will be creating a module to automate this process. But please think from the point of view that your test case should work even if there are 100 products in the shopping cart. Today, you should not automate the test case only with the basis of 10 products. What happens tomorrow if there are only 3 products? Your test case should not fail. And what happens if your shopping cart contains 20? Your test case should not fail. So you should create or develop a test case in such a way, even though irrespective of number of products in the shopping cart, your test case should work. So what I'll do, I will be just going back to the modules section and I will be creating a module. But before creating a module, can anyone tell me, do I need to scan all the checkboxes? Because I am saying to delete the products from the shopping cart. In order to delete the products from the shopping cart, what is the process? You need to click on the checkbox and you need to click on this button. So now can anyone guess and tell me, do I need to scan all the checkboxes? Is it required to scan all the checkboxes? Can anyone tell me? What do you guys feel? What's your opinion? Guys, am I able to, you are able to hear me, right?
Sir.
క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే ఎవరు ఆన్సర్ చెప్పరు ఎస్ ఆర్ నో అని. సింపుల్ క్వశ్చన్, ఆలోచించండి. డూ ఐ నీడ్ టు స్కాన్ ఆల్ ది చెక్ బాక్సెస్ ఆర్ నాట్? అంతే, క్వశ్చన్ సింపుల్. నేను అంత లోపల ఎక్సెస్ స్కాన్ ఓపెన్ చేసి స్కాన్ చేయడం నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్. హౌ మెనీ, హూ ఇస్ దట్?
Kiran.
ఓకే, వాట్ అబౌట్ అదర్స్?
No, Madhav.
నో.
Not required to scan everything, sir.
Okay. If not required, then what should I do? Then which checkbox should I scan? My access scan window is ready. Now, if all the checkboxes are not required, then which checkbox should I scan? And మీరందరూ నో చెప్పారు. నో ఎందుకు చెప్పారు? ఎవరు చెప్తారా? నో ఎందుకు?
We can use the table operation or else we can use by index.
Exactly. That is what I'm expecting. By using the index, that is what. See, there are, for example, today in your cart, you might have 10 products, right? If you scan all the checkboxes, అంటే 10 checkboxes scan చేస్తారు, and you will develop your test case. రేపు మీ షాపింగ్ కార్ట్లో 20 products ఉంటే 10 products డిలీట్ చేసి అక్కడికి ఆగిపోతుంది కదా, ఎందుకంటే మీరు మిగతా చెక్ బాక్సెస్ని స్కాన్ చేయలేదు. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ రేపు 3 products ఉంటే 3 చెక్ బాక్సెస్ స్కాన్ చేసి డెవలప్ అయి ఉంటుంది, మిగతా 7 చెక్ బాక్సెస్ వదిలేసి ఉంటుంది. సో యువర్ టెస్ట్ కేస్ విల్ ఫెయిల్ అగైన్. That is what I told you before, that you need to think from a point of view that if you develop your test case with a stable position, irrespective of number of products, and okay, the answer is no. There is no need to scan every checkbox. If there is no need to scan every checkbox, then what should I do? Which checkbox should I scan? ఆల్రెడీ ఈ చెక్ బాక్స్ చూస్తుంటే మీకు ఏం తెలుస్తుంది? ఆల్ దీస్ చెక్ బాక్సెస్ ఆర్ కామన్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ ది సేమ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్. Correct? These check boxes might have been developed and they are looking the same way. The answer also we have got by using this index identification method. That is what I'm expecting from you. By using the index identification method, I can identify a single checkbox. So what might be that checkbox is, I'll just click on select on screen and simply I will just select the first checkbox. That's it, my job is done. I'll simply just select this first checkbox, and along with this, I will also select this update shopping cart. These are the two controls which I want to scan. I've scanned it and see this is not been unique. So obviously I need to make it unique by index identification method. So with this index identification method, can you see there are total of 9 products in the shopping cart and index is first position. Means you are just identifying the first checkbox out of this 9 and you are making it unique, saving it and closing it. It is simple. You guys are correct. It is not required to scan all the check boxes. And by using this index identification method, you can simply handle this situation and create a module. So for example, I have created this module. So now let me show you how do I create this test case with this while loop. Right now you will be able to clearly understand. So simply again, I'm just creating a test case. Looping statement. I've just created a test case that is for while loop and it is in work. So first is, what is the first step that I want to do? I need to click on the shopping cart, right? Is there anywhere the process of clicking on shopping cart? Yes, I have this test step. So the first step is I want to click on the shopping cart. After clicking on the shopping cart, then what I will do? Now I will create a while loop. So how you will create a while loop? Again, it is simple. Just give a right click. After you give a right click, there you have a 3 options. Create a while statement. Can you see? Even your while statement is also similar to the if conditional statement, right? You have a condition here and then you have a loop. Means, so what is the looping statement? If you want to perform any specific set of action for a repeated number of times. Now, based upon the condition, you are trying to verify or perform an action repeatedly. So what is my condition? Till when? నేను ఈ కండిషన్ ఎందుకు పెడుతున్నానంటే నేను ఆల్రెడీ 10 products ఉన్నా 20 products ఉన్నా 100 products ఉన్నా సింగిల్ ఈవెన్ 2 products ఉన్నా కానీ నా టెస్ట్ కేస్ వర్క్ అవ్వాలి. దానికోసం నేనేం చేసిన సింపుల్గా ఓన్లీ ఒక చెక్ బాక్స్ స్కాన్ చేసుకున్నాను. ఇలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్లో నా టోస్కాకి ఎలా అర్థమవుతుంది? ఎంతసేపు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలని నా టోస్కాకి తెలుస్తుంది. సో ఒక కండిషన్ అనేది ఉండాలి కదా, ఒక లిమిట్ అనేది ఉండాలి, నేను ఒక రెస్ట్రిక్షన్ పెట్టాలి. ఇప్పుడు నేను మిమ్మల్ని ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక సింపుల్ మనము రన్నింగ్ రేసు ఒక ఏదో రేస్ పెట్టుకున్నాము. ఒక ఎండ్ పాయింట్, ఒక కండిషన్ ఉండాలి. మీరు ఇదే వేలో పరిగెత్తాలి, ఇదే వేలో వెళ్ళాలి, ఈ స్పీడ్లో వెళ్ళాలని కండిషన్ పెడితేనే మనము గోల్ ఈజీగా అచీవ్ చేయగలం. జస్ట్ వాక్ చేయండి అని చెప్పి మీరు కండిషన్ పెట్టకుండా ఎంతసేపు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, చేయలేరు కదా. సో దేర్ షుడ్ బి ఏ కండిషన్. ఎన్నిసార్లు పనిచేయాలన్నా కానీ కండిషన్ ఉండాలి. సో ఏంటి, ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ అన్ని డిలీట్ అయ్యేంత వరకు చేయాలి. ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ డిలీట్ అయ్యాయి అని టోస్కాకి ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? ఇంకేం ప్రోడక్ట్ లేనప్పుడు. ఇంకా ఏమీ ప్రోడక్ట్ లేదు అని ఎలా డిసైడ్ చేయాలి మనం అంటే చెక్ బాక్స్. ఈ చెక్ బాక్సెస్ అన్నీ లేకపోతే ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఈ షాపింగ్ కార్ట్లో ఇంకా ప్రోడక్ట్ లేనట్టే కదా. కొంచెం లాజిక్తో ఆలోచించండి. ఇప్పుడు ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి చెక్ బాక్సెస్ కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. అసలు ఏం ప్రోడక్ట్ లేదనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏమవుతుంది, చెక్ బాక్సెస్ ఇంకేం కనిపించవు. సో నా కండిషన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే వెరిఫై వెదర్ ఇన్ ద చెక్ బాక్సెస్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఆర్ నాట్. సో నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్లో కండిషన్ ఉంది. నా కండిషన్ ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఇది ఉంది చూసారా, ఇప్పుడు స్కాన్ చేసిన మాడ్యూల్ని అది తీసుకుని వచ్చి కండిషన్లో డ్రాప్ చేస్తున్నాను. సో నేనేం చేస్తున్నా, ఐఎమ్ నేమింగ్ యాజ్ వెరిఫై ఇఫ్ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఈజ్ ప్రెసెంట్. అండ్ ఇప్పుడు నేను డిలీట్ చేయడానికైనా చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉండాలి, ఎంటీ అయిందని కన్ఫర్మ్ చేసుకోవడానికైనా కానీ చెక్ బాక్స్ లేదని కన్ఫర్మ్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, వెరిఫై చెక్ బాక్స్ ఇస్ ప్రెసెంట్ అని నేమ్ పెట్టి ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ యూజింగ్ విజిబుల్ ఈక్వల్ టు ట్రూ వెరిఫై, అంతే. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ వెరిఫైయింగ్ వెదర్ దిస్ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఇస్ ప్రెసెంట్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంది అంటే నాకు టోస్కా కన్ఫర్మ్ చేసింది, ఎస్ బాస్ మీరు అడిగిన చెక్ బాక్స్ అప్లికేషన్లో ఉంది. ఇప్పుడు ఉంటే నేనేం చేయాలి, డిలీట్ చేయాలి. డిలీట్ చేయాలంటే ఇది క్లిక్ చేయాలి, దీనిపైన క్లిక్ చేయాలి, అంతే కదా. డిలీట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏంటి, చెక్ బాక్స్ పైన క్లిక్ చేయడం, అప్డేట్ షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేయడం, రైట్. సో అది నేను లూప్లో పెడతాను, నేను లూప్లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తాను. సో సేమ్ టెస్ట్ స్టెప్ని కాపీ చేసి నేను లూప్లో పెట్టుకుంటున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు నేను వాటికి నేమ్స్ మారుస్తున్నాను. క్లిక్ ఆన్ చెక్ బాక్స్. అప్పుడు నేను క్లిక్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి, డైరెక్ట్గా ట్రూ. మీకు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను, కొన్నిసార్లు క్లిక్ ఆపరేషన్ కాదు, చెక్ బాక్సెస్ పైన ట్రూ ఇచ్చినా కానీ అది క్లిక్ చేస్తుంది. క్లిక్ ఆన్ చెక్ బాక్స్ అండ్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ అప్డేట్ షాపింగ్ కార్ట్. సో మీకు స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ చూపిస్తున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు ఇది అవసరం లేదు కాబట్టి డిలీట్ చేసి ఇది క్లిక్ చేస్తుంది. ప్రాసెస్ చూడండి, సింపుల్. నేను నా టెస్ట్ కేస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేస్తాను. నెక్స్ట్ నా కంట్రోల్ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది, వైల్ లూప్ స్టేట్మెంట్లోకి వెళ్తుంది. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత ఫస్ట్ నా కండిషన్ ఏంటి, చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉందా లేదా అని వెరిఫై చేస్తుంది. ఒకవేళ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంది అంటే ఏంటి, కొన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయనే కదా దాని అర్థం. నా టెస్ట్ కేస్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఏంటి, టు డిలీట్ ది ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ది షాపింగ్ కార్ట్. అంటే ఒక చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంది అంటే ఇంకొక ప్రోడక్ట్ ఉందనే కదా. సో ఒక చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉందా లేదా అని వెరిఫై చేసుకుంటుంది. ఎస్ వెరిఫై అయితే నా వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్, మీ కంట్రోల్ లూప్లోకి వెళ్తుంది. ప్రోడక్ట్ ఉంటే దానిపైన క్లిక్ చేస్తున్నారు, దాన్ని డిలీట్ చేస్తున్నారు, రైట్. ఇలా ప్రతిసారి ఒకసారి లూప్ అయిపోయింది, మళ్ళీ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది సెకండ్ టైం లూప్లో. ఓకే, సెకండ్ ఇంకో చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంది, మళ్ళీ సేమ్ యాక్షన్. మళ్ళీ ఇది అయిపోయింది, మళ్ళీ థర్డ్ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంటే మళ్ళీ సేమ్ యాక్షన్. మళ్ళీ ఫోర్త్ చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంటే మళ్ళీ సేమ్ యాక్షన్. మీకు ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసి చూపిస్తాను. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వీఆర్ ఇన్ దిస్ పేజ్, మనం షాపింగ్ కార్ట్కి వెళ్ళి క్లిక్ చేయాలి కదా. సో ఐ జస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ దిస్ టెస్ట్ కేస్. Just give a right click, run in scratch loop. Now let us see whether it will work or not. సో ఏం చేయాలి, ఫస్ట్ మన ప్రకారం ఫస్ట్ వెళ్ళి షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేయాలి. సో చూద్దాం షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేస్తుందో లేదో. షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేసింది. దాని తర్వాత ఏంటి, చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంటే డిలీట్ చేయి, రైట్. సెకండ్ టైం మళ్ళీ చెక్ బాక్స్ మీరు చూడండి, నేను ఓన్లీ ఫస్ట్ది ఎందుకు స్కాన్ చేస్తున్నాను, ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఫస్ట్ డిలీట్ చేస్తే సెకండ్ ఉన్నది కూడా నెక్స్ట్ కి ఫస్ట్ ప్రోడక్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. చూడండి ఇప్పుడు బ్యాగ్ డిలీట్ చేస్తే నెక్స్ట్ బెల్ట్ సెకండ్ పొజిషన్ ఉంది కానీ ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్కి వచ్చేస్తుంది. అందుకే ఒకటి స్కాన్ చేసుకుంటే చాలు. ఇప్పుడు జీన్స్ డిలీట్ చేస్తుంది, నెక్స్ట్ షూస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆబ్వియస్లీ షూస్ వచ్చినాయి చూడండి. షూస్ పోతే నెక్స్ట్ సెల్ ఫోన్ ఉంది, అది టాప్ ప్లేస్కి వస్తుంది. సో ఇండెక్స్ 1 ఎప్పుడు మ్యాచ్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ ఫోన్ కవర్ ఇండెక్స్ 1. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి నా కండిషన్, ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఏదైనా చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉందా, చెక్ బాక్స్ లేదు, నా కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయింది. కండిషన్ ఫెయిల్ అయితే నా కంట్రోల్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది లూప్. అంటే మీరు ఎన్నిసార్లు కావాలంటే అన్నిసార్లు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. until and unless my condition is satisfied, your loop will be continuously executing. ఇప్పుడు 10 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయింది, రేపు 200 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ మీ టెస్ట్ కేసు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది, అండ్ సింపుల్గా 2 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ మీ టెస్ట్ కేసు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఒక కండిషన్ పెట్టారు, చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉన్నంత వరకు మీరు డిలీట్ చేస్తూనే వెళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు నాకేం చెక్ బాక్స్ కనిపించట్లేదు, ఆబ్వియస్లీ చెక్ బాక్స్ లేదంటే అర్థం ఏంటి, ప్రోడక్ట్స్ లేనట్టే కదా. యూ కెన్ సీ ది హౌ ఇట్ హెస్ బిన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ ప్రాసెస్ చూడొచ్చు. ఇవ్వండి, షాపింగ్ కార్ట్ పైన క్లిక్ చేశారు, రిపిటేషన్ 1 కండిషన్ చూసుకుంది, కండిషన్ మ్యాచ్ అయింది, లూప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసింది. రిపిటేషన్ 2 సేమ్, రిపిటేషన్ 3 4 5 6 సిక్స్త్ ఇటరేషన్, 7th ఇటరేషన్, 8th ఇటరేషన్, 9th ఇటరేషన్, 10th సారి కూడా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేద్దామని వచ్చింది. 9 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, 9 ప్రోడక్ట్స్ డిలీట్ అయిపోయినాయి. 10th టైం మళ్ళీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయడానికి వచ్చింది మళ్ళీ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది, చెక్ బాక్స్ ఇస్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఆర్ నాట్, చెక్ బాక్స్ వాస్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ అంటే ఆటోమేటిక్ ఏంటి, యువర్ కండిషన్ ఇస్ ఫెయిల్డ్ అండ్ యువర్ కంట్రోల్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ది కండిషనల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అండ్ యువర్ లూప్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. రైట్? Is it clear about this while statement? How to use this simply?
Yes, mother.
Right?
Teacher.
Now, ఇప్పుడు వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ చేశాం కదా, అసలు డూ వైల్ అంటే ఏంటి మాకు సింపుల్. మీరు వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అసలు మీకు సింపుల్గా చూపిస్తాను, డూ వైల్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, యాక్చువల్లీ డూ వైల్కి వైల్కి పెద్ద తేడా లేదు, ఒక టెస్ట్ కేస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాను. అండ్ నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద టెస్ట్ కేస్ డూ వైల్ లూప్ స్టేట్మెంట్. అసలు డూ వైల్ లూప్ స్టేట్మెంట్, డూ వైల్ ఎలా ఉంది, ఇది డూ వైల్. డూ వైల్, మీరు వైల్కి డూ వైల్కి చిన్న తేడా చూడండి. ఇది వైల్ కదా, వైల్లో ఏంటి, ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ ఉంది, దెన్ లూప్ ఉంది. డూ వైల్లో చూడండి, ఫస్ట్ లూప్ ఉంది, దెన్ కండిషన్ ఉంది. సి దెన్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద డూ వైల్ అండ్ వైల్. ఎందుకు మీకు చెప్తున్నానంటే ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడగచ్చు అడగకపోవచ్చు, రైట్? ఒకవేళ అడిగితే మీకు తెలియాలి కాబట్టి మీకు చెప్తున్నాను. సో వైల్ అండ్ డూ వైల్ ఆర్ బోత్ వైస్ వర్సా. వైస్ వర్సా అని ఎలా చెప్తావు మాధవ్ అంటే, సో ఫస్ట్ వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్లో ఏమవుతుంది, ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను. అంటే కండిషన్ ఇందాక చూసాం కదా, చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉందా లేదా అని. అంటే నా చెక్ బాక్స్ ఉంటేనే నా లూప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది, ఈవెన్ ఫర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైం. ఫస్ట్ మై కండిషన్ విల్ బి వెరిఫైడ్, ఇఫ్ ద కండిషన్ సాటిస్ఫైస్ మై లూప్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. ఇది వైల్ లో. కానీ డూ వైల్కి వచ్చేసరికి లూప్ విల్ బి ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ అట్లీస్ట్ వన్స్. అంటే కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకోకుండా ఫస్ట్ ఒకసారి ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ డిలీట్ చేసేస్తుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ ప్రోడక్ట్ డిలీట్ చేయాలన్నా కానీ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. కానీ డూ వైల్ యూజ్ చేస్తే అసలు కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకోకుండా మినిమం 1 అసలు ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ ని డిలీట్ చేసేస్తుంది. అప్పుడు సెకండ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ నుంచి డిలీట్ చేయడానికి కండిషన్ వెతుక్కుంటుంది. రైట్? ఇట్స్ సింపుల్ వైస్ వర్సా. So do while statement will execute at least once without verifying the condition, but while statement will execute only after verifying the condition. That is the only difference between while and do while. Is it understood? సింపుల్, ఎక్కువ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకండి. వైల్ స్టేట్మెంట్లో కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటేనే లూప్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. డూ వైల్లో కండిషన్ చెక్ చేసుకోకపోయినా కానీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. కానీ ఎన్నిసార్లు, ఓన్లీ వన్స్, అట్లీస్ట్ వన్స్ యువర్ లూప్ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ వితౌట్ వెరిఫైయింగ్ ది కండిషన్. దెన్ ఫ్రమ్ ది సెకండ్ టైం కండిషన్ విల్ వెరిఫై. ఫస్ట్ లూప్ లో అట్లీస్ట్ వన్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి ఫ్రమ్ ది సెకండ్ టైం యువర్ కండిషన్ విల్ బి వెరిఫైడ్. రైట్? క్లియర్?
Yes, mother.
Sir.
Right? Fine, right? So what I'll do is I'll just stop the recording here for today. గైస్, మీకు ఏమైనా మెసేజ్ అనిపించిందా, దిస్ రికార్డింగ్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ నో లాంగర్ రికార్డెడ్ అని?
లేదు మదర్, రాలేదు.
ఓ